what are your recommendations to de-escalate something that is getting now a little bit too dramatic?
Yeah, look, we've had boards that ask us to call the resident, and in certain situations, we may do it depending on the community, depending on how it is. What we find is easier to send a notice. Try to be kind in the notice. Hey, you're getting a violation. It just needs to be simple. You're getting a violation for this reason. This is the section. These are the steps that we want you to do, correct it. Which, by the way, for our listeners, now the statute does require to put how do you need to correct it. Which in some cases it was obvious,
sense.
like you need to pressure wash the driveway. Okay, you need to pressure wash the driveway. But how do you de-escalate it? It's providing just the notices. I think it's just keeping it simple and looking at your notices, because we've seen notices where they're just, the language is just rough. Again, these are your neighbors. Look, you're in violation of this. This is what we want. This is how you want you to correct it. Here's your final notice. After this notice, these are the steps that we would follow so that the expectation is there. At the hearing, that's where if we're coaching with the committee is important, is just letting them know, let's just hear them out. This is not fight and you're an idiot. No, let's just hear them out and just explain, look, this is difficult for us, just as it is difficult for you.
I find that that's when like a company like Affinity is a really good neutral place, because you're not in like you just want peace and love. Like you guys don't have she's the neighbor that did this to my kid or whatever. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, like but you kind of don't have an agenda with those things, so it's easier. Do you guys have any resources for maybe communities that are self-managed for tips how to do this? Yeah,
we have a simple one pager that gives them an idea of what the violation process looks like. So I'm sure we can include a link below on for them to be able to download that. Ultimately, it's just trying to have empathy, with your neighbors. Now, that doesn't mean let people push you over everywhere you go. That's not what I'm saying. But, through communication, I think is where things happen much easier. What I will tell you, it's easier for me to say it, at my level as well. Like I try to coach my team members a lot. But with the residents, don't take it personal. I know people do get insulted when they get a violation. Unfortunately, we're all human. But the board is really just following the rules of the association. That's what they're supposed to do. So our managers do get hammered a lot. So sometimes if they're a certain way, it doesn't excuse it. In no way. In no way does it excuse it. But it is very challenging space.